Good morning, everybody. I'm Tom Bracken. I'm the president of the New Jersey State Chamber of Commerce. I want to welcome you to the webinar today about the New Jersey Business Action Center and the way its website and its team can help businesses grow in New Jersey. I'm very happy to be part of this informational event because I am a true believer in the Business Action Center. It provides important resources to businesses of all size all over the state. And it is important and perhaps unappreciated, this resource, and people need to know more about it. Today's discussion will provide information on how the Business Actions website, Business.NJ.gov, can provide important information to help you run your business, help you start a business, to operate a business, and to grow your business. I'd personally like to thank the Business Action Center's whole team, including Executive Director Melanie Willoughby, who without question is one of the state's most knowledgeable economic development leaders and deserves a lot of credit for driving this team and putting together the Business.NJ.gov website, along with the innovation and technology team of the government. Though the Business Action Center is a government organization and we are a private organization, we work hand in hand with the Business Action Center because our motivations are exactly the same. Try to help businesses stay here, grow here, and come here. And we work a lot with the Business Action Center, and we are very impressed with how they do things. And our motivation today is to make sure more people know about them, because the more businesses know about the Business Action Center, the easier it is for those businesses to get things done in the state and to grow in the state, which is something we all need to provide and promote. So with that introduction, I would like to introduce Don Newman, manager of the Office of Small Business Advocacy at the New Jersey Business Action Center. And Don will take the program from here. Don, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tom, and to the whole chamber for inviting us to be here today. I am going to start off a little bit by introducing someone else. EJ Kalifarsky is a part of the Governor's Office of Innovation. I am happy not to take credit for the site itself. That's the innovation teams. Although we do have a lot of input on the content, but I am going to allow EJ to speak a little bit about the innovation team. Go ahead, EJ.
Thanks, Don. We just wanted to say hi. I'm EJ Kalifarsky. I head up our work on improving the business experience in the state for the New Jersey Office of Innovation. We build Business.NJ.gov, and we work incredibly closely with Don and Melanie in the Business Action Center to make Business.NJ.gov as useful as possible for businesses, so that you can go there to find out anything you need to do as a business in New Jersey and to get any question answered. We also talk constantly with businesses just like all your businesses, to make sure that Business.NJ.gov is able to answer any question and meet any need that you have as a business. So if you've got, after Don has showed you all these great resources and all the work that the Business Action Center does, if you have any suggestions or feedback about Business.NJ.gov, please feel free to use any of the methods that Don is going to describe to send it back to any of us at the Business Action Center and at the Office of Innovation to interact with the website and subscribe to any of the services. So thanks very much. And again, please always feel free to get in touch with any of us to let us know your thoughts.
Great. Thank you very much, EJ. So yeah, this really is a collaborative effort. I meet with the innovation team at least 2 or 3 times a week to go over all of the different questions and resources that they have that may be relevant to the site. But before I begin, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Business Action Center before we get into the Business.NJ.gov site. So we are a state agency within a unit rather within the Department of State, led by our Lieutenant Governor Taisha Way, and you've already met. She's on the call. Melanie Willoughby, our Executive Director. So I'm going to go through some of these slides very quickly so that I respect your time and we give you some time to ask questions. So I'm not going to read to you our mission, our vision, but I'm going to put it up here. I know this program is being recorded, so you can go back and look at some of these slides afterwards to get more information. But ultimately, our mission is to help businesses. That's the bottom line, is to help businesses grow and become vital members of the New Jersey economy. This is a nice infographic on how we work. We connect with businesses, and the businesses connect with us. We collaborate with our various resource partners, and we communicate back to both the resource partners and the business owners with the needs that they have. So and the resources that are available to them. So it's sort of this is, like I say, this is a nice little representation of how we work. We connect, we collaborate, and then we communicate back to our clients as well as our partners. Here's a little quick shot of one of our team that was taken recently, although there's a few faces here that have changed. This is the basic Business Action Center team. And I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to expand on each of these, but we were broken up into basically these offices: the Office of Business Advocacy, Export Promotion. I run the Small Business Advocacy team. We also have the State Planning Unit, and the newest member of our team is the Cannabis Training Academy. So we provide services to businesses of all sizes, all locations. I stole a couple of slides from a colleague who has a better sense of humor than I do. And that is, there are programs that are specific to regions. You might have a impact zone region that those services are only available there, or a UEZ where some services are only available there. We don't care if you're urban, rural, or suburban. We will help you. We don't care if you call it Taylor ham or pork roll. We will help you. And we don't care if you're a Giants fan, Eagles fan, or Jets fan. We will help you. Although I have to admit, I am a little more partial to the Giant fans. And our job is to provide you with solutions. That's a little misleading because sometimes that solution is to say no. So we get you an answer to your questions, to your problems. Sometimes that's not the answer you want to hear, but that's the solution. That is the proper solution. But that's what our goal is to help businesses find the answers and the solutions to their problems. So whether you have a vision or a dream of a business, you have a business that is facing a challenge, we can assist you in finding the resources that you need. So we're free of charge. We respect your confidentiality, and we're quick and accurate in response. We have a call center, which my unit runs, 1-800-JERSEY-7. We have a live chat on the Business.NJ.gov site, which I am going to give you a little bit more details about. And then the actual Business Action Center's website is listed there. I have one problem with this slide, and that is the term free of charge. I bristle at that because our services are not free. They're taxpayer supported, meaning that business owners who do not participate in those services that we have or our partners have are paying for a service in which they're not going to actually take advantage of. I use the metaphor that they are going into a restaurant, paying the check, and then walking out without eating their meal. I add a little bit to that by saying now, because you're paying taxes, it's not just you that are whose meal you're paying for. You're also paying for your competitor. So you're giving yourself a competitive disadvantage by not working with the Business Action Center and the various partners that are available. If you are not taking advantage of it because you are paying for it. So free of charge sounds like it has no value. I prefer taxpayer supported. So that's really the way to think about these kinds of services. Take advantage of them. They're for you. You've already paid for them. So and you're giving you're diminishing your competitiveness if you don't take advantage of some of these services. So I mentioned to you before that I was going to expand on some of the units that we have and what we do. So our business advocacy, we use the word explore. They're project managers. If you want to expand your building or find a new location, need real estate, they can help you. Again, I'm not going to go through this entire slide, but you can come back and review it for a little bit more detail on some of the things that they can do for you. Our Office of Export Promotion, they're about expanding your business. You know, 98% of the world's consumers do not live in the United States. So the exporting, penetrating the global markets is a great way to expand your business. And we do have a STEP grant. Again, because it's a little off topic, I'm not going to go into the details, but there's some information on this slide that you can come back and take a look at. But that's a great grant program or financial assistance program, as I think the SBA prefers us to call it, that can help you expand your business and get into the global markets. Office of Small Business Advocacy, I will spend a little bit more time on this because it's my unit. But as I've already mentioned, we run both the call center and the live chat. Through that, we've answered numerous questions over the years. Just in the last fiscal year, 30,000 live chats. We've answered 10,000 calls. That number is actually flipped from the past. What the pandemic did was pushed a lot of people off the phone and into the live chat, which is great because we're able to be a little bit more expansive on some of the responses we give when we're writing them out and giving people real actionable information. And we get some great reviews on that from the users as we're collecting more and more metrics on them. So if you have any business question, you can come to us. And then our office also does the advocacy work where we help a small business overcome a challenge, whether it be getting a tax clearance certificate so they can participate in a financial program, or helping they get their registration straightened out because they're not properly registered in the state. There are a lot of different resources that we have that we can help you help you overcome any issues that you might be having. Office of State Planning, their constituency is really more like municipalities and regional planning units. The two pieces here is the warehouse siting guidance to help municipalities deal with the influx of warehouse space and what's the proper use to get that. And then we're also working on the state plan, which has not been updated in over a decade. And you're going to hear a lot more about that in the coming weeks and months about the process of adopting a new state plan. All right. And then the Cannabis Training Academy, again, educate. Their job is to help businesses that are going into the cannabis field because of the federal laws, sort of the normal resources that we have to offer for businesses are blocked because of the federal laws. So we had to build from the ground up a brand new training and technical assistance unit to provide those services without the federal funds. So that's what the Cannabis Training Academy is all about. And if you're interested in that, you should reach out to us and we'll make a connection for you. But today's topic is about the Business.NJ.gov site. Is organized with plans, start, operate, and grow your business. And I'm going to jump to the site in a second to show you how that all fits together. There's also a great updates page where you can get learn about new programs or regulations and resources, and you can sign up for a newsletter. And then I'm going to talk to you about the live chat and a personalized guide for your business. We sometimes refer to that as the Navigator, rebranding it a little bit, but you'll see the word Navigator a few times, and I'm also prone to just sort of going back into the old talk and talking about Navigator, and I don't want to confuse people, so I'm going to make sure you understand that personalized guide and Navigator are the same thing. All right. This is how you contact us. So again, I'm the manager of the Office of Small Business Advocacy. You have my email address there, my direct phone number. But the quickest way to get any answers is to use the hotline, 1-800-JERSEY-7, or the live chat that is available on Business.NJ.gov. All right, so I am going to stop sharing for a second, and I'm going to switch over to the actual NJ.gov website so that you can see that. So let's go to, see if I can't go to full screen here so you can see it a little better. So this is the website. The website, as I mentioned, is organized in, as you can see across the top here, plan, start, operate, or grow your business, and then has an updates section. There are multiple ways to do things on this website. So if you wanted to go to plan and you wanted to go to any particular topic under the plan tab, you can do that. But for simplicity's sake, I'm going to just click on plan, and it will take me to a list of categories and topics that match this list. All right. So the first step of being in business is good planning. By the way, here's the personalized setup guide. There's other places where you'll see this. I'm going to get to that, but I wanted to just show you that it's on almost every page that you can find. So you have create a business plan, choose a business structure. I'm not going to go through each of these, but I am going to select a couple just to kind of show you the way this site is laid out, but also what great information that is available on here. So, creating your business plan, choosing your structure, selecting a location. So just randomly chose leasing tips, because this is some information that you don't typically get on government websites. So we talk to people about incorporating site improvements into your lease, or negotiating the lease length and terms, so that especially a small business owner that is not your typical real estate expert will have some basic knowledge about signing a lease when they're planning their business. So that's one area that I was going to point out, and the other one is going to be licensing and certification guide. So there are probably about 600 or more professional occupational licenses that are available, and also some regulated businesses. In fact, if you look at the site here, it's showing 696 separate results for licensing and certification guides, for this licensing and certification guide. So you can come down here, and if you've got, are sick of sticking needles in the voodoo doll of your boss, and you decide you want to stick needles in real people, here's how you get an acupuncture license. So again, there are multiple, almost 700 different licenses available here. And the links show you what agency licenses that particular, handles that particular license, gives you phone information, and then also gives you some information about applying for those licenses. So that's a great tool for those that are planning a business, especially because they're not always that familiar with what licensing requirements are for each of those businesses. We then talk about starting the business. So this is the next step in that business process, where you can find out about things like funding. Now, you'll see funding on multiple of these, because funding becomes part of planning the business, finding financial resources, finding funding resources when you start the business, finding funding resources as you try to grow your business. So you'll see funding on multiple pages. Sometimes it's going to take you to the same information. Other times, it's in the terms of planning, it's going to take you to information that is a little bit more relevant to that particular phase of your business. But as you go through this, you'll see, again, we have things like starter kits for certain industries, we have information about DBAs and business names. I'm a bit pedantic, so I get very very particular about the term DBA because it has only one specific meaning, even though it's commonly used to refer to a lot of different things. And this site reflects that that concern of mine. So when we talk about DBAs, we talk about it only being for out-of-state businesses, which is absolutely correct. And so I don't have to be drive myself crazy when people start using the term incorrectly. But again, on the, I went back to planning, so let's go back to starting. And another thing I like about this site is we talk about hiring employees and employer requirements. So we can talk about things like, understanding workmen's compensation, understanding wage and hour compliance, and child labor laws. And the one thing that I really like about this program is we talk about the classification of business of your employees. Actually, that's on the previous slide. Big mistake a lot of small businesses make is thinking that they can just say, well, this is these employees are independent contractors, and that can really get you into trouble if you misclassify your employees. So like I say, I get very passionate about certain topics, and proper worker classification is one of them, because it's a quick way to get bankrupt your business if you get caught misclassifying your employees. So that kind of nuanced information is important to somebody who is new to business. And that's why I'm emphasizing it, because a recent business was between unpaid taxes, penalties and interest. They recently got a fine of $700,000 from the Department of Labor. So it is a serious issue. And like I say, what I like about this site is that those kinds of nuanced things are addressed in these topics, so that when you are new to a business, you can learn about that kind of those kinds of concerns. And then operating a business, as I mentioned, funding opportunities available on the site again. We also talk about your taxes, business preparedness, another passion of mine, because of hurricanes and other kinds of situations. Your business needs to be prepared for that kind of thing, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a natural disaster. One of my colleagues right now is talking to a community where a bridge renovation project is going to impact the local businesses. So they're talking so that the concepts are the same about being prepared in your business for that. And one of the other things I'm going to mention here is the plastic ban resources. That seems like old news, but it's not, because there is a step up in enforcement on the bag ban law. So you want to make sure that you're up to date. I was in a restaurant just the other day to get takeout food, and they handed it to me in plastic bags, and my wife had to restrain me from reporting them because obviously they're not supposed to be using those plastic bags. And then the last section is growing your business. So again, government contracting. One way to grow your business is to penetrate that market, getting into government contracting. You can also grow your business through exports. And as always, you'll have funding needs when you're trying to grow your business. So that's the basic structure of the Business.NJ.gov site. However, the two things I wanted to show you beyond that, actually, I missed one: updates. Updates are important. You can find recent updates. So, for example, I talked earlier about hiring new employees. There has been a change since September in the hiring practices for minors. So if you have a seasonal business where you hire kids, or you have even not in the seasonal business, we were hiring minors. The old working papers, where you had to go down to the school, to the guidance counselor to get the copies of the working paper. All that's been taken away from the school districts, and now it's all done digitally. So, and that news is available here. And we do have about 35 different articles here that are concerning regulations or new programs that businesses will have an interest in. This site is also sortable, or you can filter it, I should say. So you can just look at grants and resources, or you can look at the changes in rules and regulations, or you can actually search for an article that you are interested in. Most of the information that's on here is evergreen. So if there's something that is dated, we do actively pull that off. But what I highly recommend, is everybody sign up for the newsletter. Sign up here to receive a newsletter in which these articles will be sent directly to your inbox. They are always relevant articles on a variety of topics. It's once a week. You're not going to get 2 or 3 emails a week, which starts to overwhelm you. It's once a week, and you'll get relevant information about operating a business in New Jersey. Now I'm going to show you the live chat. So if you can use the chat feature is available on several different sites, but this is what it looks like. You can go into here and send a message. I'm just going to say, that I'm just sending in a demo. That message is now sitting in a inbox in my office for my staff. And I wouldn't be surprised that in the next 2 or 3 minutes, we'll receive a reply. As you see, it actually has a timer on it. So usually reply now is up to 4 minutes. Sorry about that. That's because I'm not in the office. My deputy's not in the office, and one of my staff called in sick. So they're now responding in 4 minutes instead of 3 minutes. But you'll get a response very quickly with useful information about your business. I'm going to close that down and just move on. But the other feature, which is really the star of today's presentation, is going to be the personalized guide for a business. So you can click here, and you'll get. I'm already logged in, so a business has already popped up. But I'm going to go up here, and we'll just show you that you can. Sorry, I've got things in the way of my screen. So, okay, so if I click here and I add a new business, what you do is you answer a series of onboarding questions. So I'm starting sorry, somebody from my office just responded. So I'm just going to close that. So anyway, starting a new business, is it a nonprofit or a business, a for-profit or nonprofit business? Then I can click a list of industries that we have pre-programmed information on. I believe we're up to 51 different businesses here. So you can choose whichever one it is, or you can choose a general one, all other businesses, which will give you a general roadmap or personalized guide for your business. So, I'm not going. I jokingly used acupuncture before, and there it is again. And I'm not going to save this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to to one of the ones that we already have in here. I'm not sure why it's called RUBB, but I'm going to skip this first section and show you the roadmap first, then I'll explain the rest of it. So bear with me a moment. Okay. So this is the business profile that I had selected. So it's child care center? Will you have provide child care services for 6 or more children? That affects the licensing requirements, the effective date. So all, you answer a series of these questions, and then it will generate for you this roadmap. Why is the roadmap not? And I'm sorry, my roadmap, it doesn't appear to be showing up, and I'm not sure why, because I just had it up a moment ago. So let's try to let's switch to my unnamed accounting firm. See if I get, there it is. Okay, so we'll use this one instead. So so again, it's structured the same way as the website. So planning your business. So writing a business plan, evaluating your location, selecting your business structure. And if you wanted more information about any of these steps, for example, writing the business plan, I could click here and I'll get contextual information about that, including support services where you can go to get help to write a business plan. Now, one of the questions I get all the time from people that are using this are, I wrote my business plan, but the system is still saying that it's not started. Well, of course it's saying it's not started. It does. The system, as smart as it is, cannot read your mind. So that you wrote the business plan. So what you have to do is come up here and you can check off whether this step is still in progress or whether it's been completed. And that allows you to use this basically as a as a checklist for starting your business. I also mentioned what I didn't mention to you is this is tied to your My New Jersey account. If you go to NJ.gov and you log into that system, that the login page that's on that page, it's called My New Jersey. It takes you to a My New Jersey page, which can be used for a lot of different things, checking lottery numbers, to checking travel and tourism things to see what you're going to be doing for that weekend. But one of the things it also does is connects you to the Business.NJ.gov page so that you can go in and access this roadmap. So anyway, so you take each step and you check them off as you complete them. However, one of the really nice features about this is when you're checking the name availability and forming the business and getting your EIN and registering for state and employer taxes, you stay within this platform to register your business. Now, this business is already registered, but you can check your name availability. This is interfacing with the Division of Revenue and Enterprise Services website. So even though you're doing this theoretically on the DOORS website, the interface allows you to stay within this platform to complete this process. So you can check your business name, you can form the business, you can set up your registered agent, and when you're completed with this process, you'll have your certificate of formation or certificate of authority if you're an out-of-state business, and you would have never left this environment. And that's one of the things I really like about this system, because it's confusing when you have to bounce back and forth from one application to another. The other thing I like about this, and it's again, I'm pedantic, minor thing, is registered agent number and manually putting in a registered agent. I actually think the DOORS website, the Division of Revenue's website, is very confusing on this issue, on how to do that. I'm explaining it to people all the time. They make this so easy. Manually identify your registered agent or enter the registered agent number. I love that because it's so much simpler than the way the actual application over on DOORS addresses that issue. But you can go, again, you can go through the whole thing. You can pay the fee and you can get do the review. Then you come back here and you go to the next step for registering for taxes. Oops, sorry. Let me just do this the easy way by going back. So once you form a business, the next step is to get your EIN number from the IRS and then register that business for tax purposes. All right. So again, all of this within the Navigator, or excuse me, the personalized guide. And then again, what I like about this is it gives you a little bit more detail. Like, how do I open a bank account? And you can, it talks about the documents you're probably going to need and opening up a business bank account. And again, as you complete these steps, you can mark them complete. You can come back further down, talks to you about what you're getting insurance, site requirements. Now, a lot of this content is similar to the content that is on the main portion of the page, but we want to make sure that it's in a nice, convenient way for you to review it and to go through these steps. Now, as I mentioned, this particular business that I have that is in here is set up as an accounting firm. Because I selected accounting as the business purpose, you come down here and it talks about how do I apply for my CPA license or register accounting firm, and other useful information. So the Navigator is a great tool. It is a tool, so obviously sometimes you have to use it appropriately, but it is a great tool for businesses to help sort of navigate the state regulatory process as well as registration and so on. The other piece to this, and I keep screwing things up because if I'm jumping around so much, so let's see if I can't get this back to you. The other piece is a tax calendar. I'm going to go back to them.
Hey, Don.
Yes.
Also, when you get a chance, so we got our first question. Please guide me how to get NJ sales tax permit.
Okay, so that's a great question. And my answer is going to sound a little complicated, but see here where it says register for tax and employer purposes. One of the questions you're going to be asked in this process is, are you going to be selling a product and collecting sales tax, which is a nice way of saying, are you required to collect sales tax? So don't get confused by that, because you are required to collect sales tax under certain circumstances when you're making a taxable transaction. And that will give you a certificate of authority to collect sales tax. All right. Now, when people talk about sales tax in that sense, they're often really referring to a resale certificate. And again, I don't mean to get too into details here, but a resale certificate is a document that you give to your vendor, doesn't go to the state, that you give to your vendor to purchase items that you're going to resell, and so that they don't charge you sales tax. All right. So the resale certificate is, because you fill it out and give it to your vendor, it is not something that you're going to be issued like an official document. You can download a copy of it, fill it out, and give it to your vendor. So that's, like I say, that's commonly misunderstood. People think about that as some sort of sales tax item, but it's really different than the actual registration. But your tax registration, that's what generates your resale certificate. Excuse me, your certificate of authority to collect sales tax. All right. So I hope that answers your question. But anyway, so here's what the tax calendar looks like. So you can do it. You can view it in different ways. You can view it as a list, and it just lists that October 20th, this organization would have a sales and use tax filing due and a 911 safety and emergency response assistance. If I go to the calendar page, you get a calendar. And I'm going to go to 2024 calendar to show you that it shows you the sales and use tax filings that when they are due and the other filings. Here's the one I like, is it gives you the date of when your annual report is due. As many of you may or may not know, annual reports are due every year and the last day of the month in the month that you formed your business. So this entity was formed in September. So on September 30th, there's an annual report that will be due. People are used to receiving emails or notes or letters about when their annual report is due. I don't trust those. They get lost, they get misplaced, they get ignored. So I recommend that people look at the calendar and see when that annual report is due, so you don't miss it. Because if you miss it 2 years in a row, your business can be revoked. That doesn't, that sounds like horrible, and it's not terrible because it's easily fixed. But if you revoke for more than a year, someone could come on and actually use your business name. And when you go to reinstate your business, you'll have to change your business name because somebody else has already claimed it. So not filing your annual reports can have serious consequences. You don't want to miss that. So this calendar will help you do that. So this basically is the business Business.NJ.gov website. I'm happy to take any questions and see if there's anything else that I can help you with. I'm going to stop sharing at the moment, and then if I need to, we can head back and go from there. Pardon me, I'm having technical issues here. There we go. Okay. So I'm looking at the chat now. I don't see any other questions, but if anyone else has a anything else that I can help you with, I'd be glad to answer them for you.
Question just came onto the chat. Does the website have templates such as a business plan?
There's some resources there, and I believe the one from the SBA does have some templates, but you can first, let's talk about those templates. They're great as a starting point, but make sure that when you write your business plan, that it reflects your business, your vision, and your needs. I am always leery of things like templates and services that write business plans for you. Those are terrible because they're not unique to your business. You have not invested in that plan. And as a result, those plans end up inside of a filing cabinet and never looked at again. So I do recommend, again, templates are great as a starting point, but you really want to imbue that business plan with your vision and what you're looking to do. And that's why I do recommend the services of the Small Business Development Center or SCORE or the Women's Business Center. Don't be confused by that term. They are, although they're called the Women's Business Center, they do not strictly limit their services to women. They're available to everyone. And the UCEDC has a service as well. Theirs is more of like a classroom setting where you come and take some courses, and they do charge for some of them. Some of them are picked up by the state, but the UCEDC is a private enterprise, so they sometimes do charge for them. So you want to pick the one that best meets your needs. So, for example, I love the classroom setting because I love the interaction with other business owners and hearing what other people have to say. That kind of that inspires me. If you're the kind of person that is asleep in the back row in high school, then that may not be. You may need that one-on-one counseling. That's where the Small Business Development Centers or SCORE are a better match for you. But if you're looking for a template, the library is an excellent source for businesses. There's a lot of information available at your public library. There's market research you can do at your public library that is paid for by the New Jersey State Library. And then there are templates and books on business planning that you can do. Don't don't be too quick. I'm going to change my expression there since I can't speak. Don't be too quick on getting a business plan done, thinking I can just fill in the spaces on a template and use that. It really is an important document, and you want to invest the time and effort into completing it. Not a requirement, although if you go for financing, it probably will be. It's not a requirement. No one's going to ask you to review it unless you're going for financing. But it really is the sort of the backbone of your business. So it's very important to invest the time into that, do it right. So my recommendation is go to the free services, the Small Business Development Center. Again, I just used the word free, and I've already said I don't like that. I don't. Your taxpayer supported services at the Small Business Development Centers, the SCORE, the Women's Business Centers, and if you need that information is on the Navigator, or you can always reach out to me, and I'll be glad to make a connection for you.
All right. We got another question here. Do you know if the live chat and the Business Navigator are available in Spanish and other languages for business owners that don't speak English?
Yes. The live chat, I have two agents there that are bilingual in Spanish and English. Unfortunately, we don't have the capability of doing any other language, although I could probably pull somebody in for Portuguese. I have some people that I can pull in if you have Chinese, and they're not part of the team, so it's a hit and miss whether or not we'll be able to deal with that. But the Navigator is, if you there's a button on the Navigator to translate into Spanish as well as other languages. So yes, the Navigator is available in other languages. I love long-winded answers, by the way, only because I'm waiting for the next question to pop up. So,
no other questions in the chat right now.
okay. Well, I mean, again, I'm happy to have discussions with you on any of these topics. Reach out to me. I'm also happy to have discussions with you on any business matter that that may come up. If you have again, I'll go back to my speechifying days and say that, if you're facing a challenge, if you have a vision for either a new business or the growth of your business, if you're looking to find new markets, or if you just want to bounce an idea off of someone, I'm happy to do that. And I'm, what I find most important is the conversation. Having a conversation with you, having a conversation about your business, and that usually sparks an idea or a resource that you may not have been aware of. So, and it happens all the time with me. I love this story, but we were at the Fancy Food Show a couple of months ago, and somebody that was there at our state pavilion that we had put together. As I was talking to them, he said, "You don't remember this, but 2 years ago, you and I spoke at an event, and you said you should probably consider exporting." And that's what the Fancy Food Show was all about, was taking New Jersey businesses and getting them to become exporters. He said, "You're the ones that suggested I should pursue exports. You introduced me to the export team, and here I am. Here I am at the Fancy Food Show. Would have never done that. Would never be in this position if it hadn't been for the conversation I had with you." So the point I'm trying to make, not to pat myself on the back, but the point I'm trying to make is those conversations are important. They can lead to new ideas and new pathways for you and your business after me listening to a little bit about your business and what you try to do. So I'm happy to have those conversations with you. I enjoy that. Best part of my job, actually. So if anybody
Actually, we have one more question.
Sure.
Do other states have similar websites and surrounding states? I guess people that do business in other states want to know.
I got to tell you, I don't know specifically. Now, we took this, we started our little concept here by looking at a website from San Francisco, I believe. The city had a pretty decent website, but ours have expanded beyond that, well beyond that. That was just sort of the investigation that we did when the innovation team was first starting to come up with this concept. I am not aware of any other state that has as comprehensive and as useful website than the Business.NJ.gov site. I could be wrong. I haven't been on Michigan's website in a long time, but I'd be surprised if anyone has that. And by the way, I get the same reaction about the Business Action Center, that we're a unique organization that a lot of other states do not have. They have something similar to like the Economic Development Authority, where they have financial assistance and incentive programs, but sort of the advocacy team that just simply help businesses that need some assistance and some guidance. That is something that most states do not have. So we're lucky. We're lucky that we're able to participate in that, and you're lucky that we have those kinds of services to help you.
How can we contact you? Asked one person.
That's a great question, and I'm going to go back to this page. No, I am going to stop sharing that. That's anyway. So again, the last slide of this deck was my contact information. I'm going to very quickly tell you that first thing, you can always go to 1-800-JERSEY-7. My staff answers that. If you call that phone and you say, I want to talk to Don Newman, they'll usually know how to find me, and they can you can reach out that way. You can also go to the live chat. Same thing. My staff is answering. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention on the live chat. I'm going to mention it real quick right now. Is that besides the live chat giving you access to the Business Action Center, we also cooperate with the Division of Taxation, so we can transfer a call to the Division of Taxation. They'll answer it for you. So because tax records are confidential, so I don't have access. We can connect you to the Department of Labor employer accounts through the live chat. So if your question has to do with those accounts that a business may have with the Department of Labor for the withholdings that they do for their employees, we can make that connection for you. And we can also connect you to the Economic Development Authority to talk about the financing and incentive programs that they have. But back to your question. So again, 1-800-JERSEY-7, the live chat. You can also call me directly at 609, and I'll put it in the chat, 609-984-9834. Or my email address, which is donald.newman@sos.nj.gov. All of that is on the slides. If you go back to the recorded session, I'd be happy to copy that down. I am putting in my information right now into the chat. Into the chat platform here. And I look forward to talking to anyone that is interested in talking to me.
All right. Well, there's no further questions in the chat.
Great, and I'm thrilled because we're right on time. So which is unusual for me. I usually go well over. So thank you very much again for your attention. Thank you for the questions. Thank you to the Chamber for your invitation to do this today. And I'm again looking forward to speaking to anyone that has any questions for us.
Great. And this is the first of a series of webinars with the New Jersey Business Action Center. And the next one is on export import, and that one is coming later in the month. So, or was it November? I don't have the date in front of me, but we will get that to everybody. And thank you everyone for joining the webinar.